Hey everyone, it's Laura from the blog OurEarlyHouse.com, and today I'm going to be doing a what we eat in a week Whole30 style. If you are getting ready to start the Whole30 or you're already on it, I know it's a big popular thing to do in January, I'm going to share with you my 3 favorite Whole30 recipes, and I'm going to be making them all right now today because for me, whenever I am doing Whole30, I am totally fine eating completely healthy and cutting out all of the grains and the sugar, but I hate feeling hungry. And so on this diet, it's not really a diet where you need to starve yourself or that you need to count calories. I don't feel like that's really healthy most of the time anyway, but this is a diet where you are training your body to like nourishing, healthy foods and staying away from anything that is desserty and sweets to make yourself lose that addiction or craving. And so for me, I like to have a lot of healthy meals, Whole30 approved meals ready to go. So anytime I'm hungry, I have something that I can eat that is Whole30 approved, so I don't want to steer away from my diet, because if I start to feel hungry, I just want to like grab whatever's on I can find to eat. So if you have food that's prepared and ready to go, I find that that makes the diet a whole lot easier. So for me, I'm going to be making up 3 different recipes today, and then I will have things ready to go throughout the week. Whenever I'm hungry, I can just go and eat whatever I want. So the first recipe I'm going to share with you is a Whole30 shepherd's pie. Now, shepherd's pie to me is such a comfort food, perfect, cozy winter food, and it's something that's going to really fill you up. Now, newly added to the Whole30 diet, you can eat potatoes now, but I in the past have made cauliflower mashed potatoes whenever Whole30 did not allow potatoes, and I really like it, and I feel like it adds a little extra nutrition. My kids like it, and so I'm going to be topping this shepherd's pie with cauliflower mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna start off by making my filling, which I have here a pound of ground beef. That's what I'm gonna be using. And I'm gonna start off by just chopping up some carrots, because I'm gonna saute those first, because I find if I don't do carrots for a little bit on their own, then they get a little bit hard in the final product. So I'm gonna chop up a few carrots here and get them sauteing in a little bit of ghee on the stove. Okay, so while those carrots are sauteing, I'm gonna start working on the rest of the things that are going into this filling. So I'm going to do some diced onions. I'm also going to use some fresh thyme, some fresh rosemary, and slice up a few mushrooms. And I'm gonna get all that going with this meat here. So I'm gonna brown the hamburger meat, and while that's browning, I'm going to saute these vegetables just right in there with it. Okay, so now my carrots are pretty much soft. I don't want them to be completely cooked because they're gonna continue to cook with the rest of the vegetables, but I'm gonna go ahead and add in my pound of ground beef, my diced up onions, and my fresh herbs, and my mushrooms. Then I'll continue to saute that until everything is soft and the meat is cooked through. Once all the vegetables are soft and the meat is brown, I'm gonna add in a ½ cup of bone broth. You can also use chicken or vegetable stock, and a ¼ cup of arrowroot powder. Now, arrowroot powder is what I'm using to really thicken this and give it a little bit of a gravy in there. And you wanna use arrowroot powder when you're on Whole30 because it's Whole30 approved, and any breadcrumbs or grains are not. So you won't be able to thicken it with the traditional breadcrumbs like you usually do in a recipe that is not Whole30. My filling's done, it's time to start on the topping, which is going to be my cauliflower mashed potatoes. To make those, I just heat a little bit of ghee in a cast iron skillet and saute some garlic in there, and then I add in 2 bags of frozen cauliflower rice. And I stir around and cook this until it's hot. And then I'm going to transfer the cauliflower rice and garlic to a blender, add in a 1/4 cup of coconut cream and a 1/2 cup of bone broth, a little bit of salt and pepper, and blend it up until smooth. Then I will pour it over top of our beef and vegetable mixture, bake it for about 20 minutes, garnish it with a little parsley, and it's ready to serve. Okay, for this next recipe, I'm gonna be showing you how to make Whole30 tacos or a Whole30 taco bowl. So we love tacos. I love cilantro and lime and jalapenos and spicy and all that good stuff. And so for this recipe, you're basically gonna be making a taco, but without the taco shell or the burrito, because neither of those would be Whole30 approved. So I'm gonna start off by making some cauliflower rice again. So this time I'm just going to put a little bit of ghee in and warm up the rice in a skillet, kind of like sauteing it till it's a little bit brown. I add in a little bit of fresh cilantro and lime to that, and that's going to be the base of my bowl. And then I'm going to brown up some hamburger meat. Again, you can use chicken or turkey or whatever type of ground meat you want. Here I have some venison, and I'm gonna season that with some Whole30 approved taco seasoning, which I have a recipe for the taco seasoning and all the recipes that I'm sharing today down in the description box below if you want more detailed instructions. I'm just going to dice up a ton of vegetables. When I'm cooking my meat, I like to add a little bit of salsa in and also some fresh lime and cilantro. And then I will also season this with about a tablespoon of my homemade taco seasoning. Okay, so to assemble my bowl, I'm just going to put a little bit of cauliflower rice in the bottom, put a scoop of the meat that we just made, and then I'm going to top it with my favorite topping. So I'm gonna do some lettuce, some diced red onion, a little bit of tomatoes, some chives, fresh cilantro, and some jalapenos. Serve it with a little squeeze of lime, and voila, this is probably my favorite Whole30 dish, which is just a taco in a bowl. Okay, and the last recipe that I'm gonna share today for my Whole30 cook with me is a creamy chicken soup. I am starting off by just dicing up some carrots and celery. I'm also gonna dice up an onion, and I'm gonna saute that with a little bit of avocado oil just right in my saucepan. So this is gonna be a one dish meal, which is my favorite because I kinda like doing dishes. Of course, who does? Then once those vegetables get a little bit soft, I will add in about 6 cups of bone broth and a cup of coconut cream. I will dice up a few red potatoes, and then I'll add in some shredded chicken. So I just did this chicken in the Instapot, and I will cube it up, shred it a little bit, add it in there, and then top it with some fresh parsley, thyme, and rosemary. Alright guys, so there you have it, my 3 favorite Whole30 meals, my shepherd's pie, my taco bowls, and my creamy chicken soup. Like I mentioned before, all the recipes that I made here today are on my blog, so I'll link those recipes in the description box below so you can have more detailed instructions. If you're planning on doing the Whole30 sometime throughout this year, be sure to check out my healthy eating guide. It is 30 days of all Whole30 approved healthy breakfast, lunch, and dinners and snacks. I also have a complete grocery list on that. So if you want to do Whole30, I want to make it easier for you. Be sure to grab that. There's a link for that down in my description box below, along with a few free ebooks and some other good things like that. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I get out new videos like this, along with some DIY all natural skincare, hair care, essential oil education, things like that. So be sure to stick around, and I'll see you all in the next video.